What is up, chat? No dogs today. I mean, I don't know. We might let the dogs in a little bit, but we're doing it from the office today. A little bit of a different angle. Hopefully, a little bit easier for me. But first, I'm eating my dinner as this game starts because it's a 6 o'clock start here. So, is this what the millennials are supposed to do? Are we supposed to show you our food?
Wow, you millennial. Polymorph, are you talking about Middlestat's brother? Because yes, absolutely. He's got the mustache of a pizza dude.
What?
I just retweeted the NHL's thing. They're playing against each other. They took a picture together. I retweeted it on our account. Yeah, he's got
But
a
you mean
mustache.
Middleton?
Yes, Middleton, not Middlestat. My
Okay.
bad.
I was like, I'm pretty sure
Too
Middlestat
many,
doesn't have a
too
brother in the
many middles.
NHL.
Too
Yeah.
many middles. Too many Woods. Too many middles. Too many Max. The game is on Altitude or ESPN Plus if you're out of
Yep.
market. For being a good influencer, yes. It's the
I'm
best
not a good
influencer.
influencer.
It's the best influencer. Everybody follow what Rudo does.
I'm not physically attractive enough to be a good influencer,
That's okay.
unfortunately.
It's okay. It's 2024. You got people like
It's 2025, Tiff.
whatever. Yeah, if we keep doing these, I'll get myself a little camera chat and an actual real mic and maybe a real setup because I'm quite literally using like a wheelie, like I would call this a dinner tray, but I guess it's a desk. But it's just like a foldable wheelie thing. So my setup is super cool.
Ah, all right. Hopefully the Avs can play well tonight. If you play well and lose, that's life. But too many of their losses lately have been them just not playing up to their ability.
Yeah, agreed.
What do we think, chat? What's the best dinner meal? Like, if you had to pick one dinner meal, what would it be?
Steak, baked potatoes.
I'm a big steak guy. It's true. All right. Puck is down 1954, 53, 52, 51. Going old school time check style because that's what we got to do. Bedsy's starting Middlestat with the third line. That's odd. You would think he would feel like Middlestat on the third line is a demotion, and then you have him take the opening face off. Kind of weird.
Smolinski on the D pairing.
Yep.
He also.
Fish, potatoes, broccoli, all good. Pasta, very good. Grilled bacon, great. Spaghetti, great. Not a big Indian food guy. I'm not gonna lie.
Really? Oh, I don't like some Indian food.
My wife loves it, but
Love me some chicken Alfredo.
I mean, I wouldn't want to go to an arena that has no cup holders either. So, what up, Steve? What up, Max?
Ah, dumplings. See,
Dumplings, gyoza, good. Yeah, for sure.
totally, that's like such a hard thing because it's one of those things. I could probably eat that forever. I don't know if that's a good dinner meal because I get hungry like an hour later and I want to eat more. So if I have a limited supply, that would be a great idea. Same thing with like sushi or spring rolls. Oh, Max. Oh, I love me some spring rolls. Hi, Casey.
Thank you for the super chat, KC. Hello and good evening, Rudo Plus Chat. How are you doing? Hope you are well, Chat and Tiff. Yeah, I'm doing good today. It was a pretty easy day. The game sucked last night, but that makes for an easy review. So I got a decent amount of sleep for once. And so far, this game has been nothing burger, but, it's only a minute and a half in, so let's not get hasty. Yeah, I mean, look, if you followed the Avs for a while, you know that day-to-day could mean literally anything. That guy could be 100% healthy and just, has the shits, or he could be, broken body and will never play hockey again. It's day-to-day is a mystery for this organization. Trent Miner is still backing up for the Avs right now until Blackwood gets healthy. I think the Avs are just going to live in that room since it sounds like the Wedgwood injury is not that serious.
Here, I just tweeted this out, but I update this thing every day. It's so
literally
annoying.
Every day. Tiff has to update the injury report. All right. Really, this Minnesota team with the players they're missing just should not be that dangerous. No Boldy, no Kaprizov. You just should not be afraid of this team's offensive ability tonight. So maybe that means the Avs can play a little bit looser, a little bit more aggressive, and find some good offense. But yeah, you also have Blackwood in net, where the Avs clearly are going to trust more than Miner. But we'll see how it goes.
What time are you at, Rue?
16:40, 39, 38, 37.
Cool. About a minute behind you, but that's okay.
I can send you my Altitude Plus if you want it.
Yeah, maybe some others. Maybe when we get a better setup and all that fun stuff.
Sure.
I'm okay for now. I don't mind.
Hey, let's go. LOC finally finished a play. It can happen. All right. Second game in a row, your depth gets the job done for you. After Manson blows a dude up, which kind of also catches Calvin DeHaan in the face. Unfortunate, but
so annoying.
Great job for LOC to find the soft spot at the blue line there, and then Gustafson's going to want that one back. But you know what? LOC was due for one to go in. You love to see it.
Love me some Loch Ness. It's a good shirt.
It is a good shirt. All right. Well, Twitter told me Boldy was out, so if he's in, then Twitter lied to me, which is normal for Twitter, but,
We did not get kicked out of the bar. It just doesn't make sense for Rudo to drive in by himself, so.
Yep.
But we still wanted to give you guys watch-alongs as opposed to the first couple of weeks we were doing this and didn't, so.
Yep.
It just looks a little different.
My goal is to do a watch-along for every game for the rest of the year, so.
Yeah, especially
we're
since
doing what we got to do
many,
to do that. Yeah.
Well, and I think this will be a perfect setup, in the future if we do need to, skip because of Nuggets or whatever. We could just be like, hey,
we'll just do it from home, yep.
Jimmy rig something, yeah. And I don't know. It looks like a lot of other shows across the network do a lot of remote shows. I think so.
Yeah, good. Whatever. We'll make it work. Another super chat from KC who says, hoping for a good game. By the way, whoever did the graphics on Biggie's injury report actually made it look pretty accurate to him. LOL.
The face cards are Eric Weedham, D-line, as he's more well known. He's our graphic branding guru. He does all of the faces for all of our guys. Oh, good, it's the cops. Sorry. And then our other graphic guru, Yahir, who's the producer of Broncos, made the rest of the graphic.
That was goalie interference a couple of games ago. I'm just saying.
Why is my phone freaking out?
As much as I would love for my Mackenzie Blackwood shutout bet to hit, I would also just like for the Avs to score a bunch of goals. So please don't win this game 1-0. Play good hockey.
Oh.
The Avs need better out of Malinsky. I mean, they need better out of a lot of guys right now, but Malinsky's been a long stretch of some tough games.
No, the bar is still there.
Yeah, we should be back in the bar on what, Monday? Is that their home game?
You're going the wrong way.
I mean, I think deferred money is stupid and that the NHL should ban it from being allowed. But, teams and players will do whatever they do thinks gives them the best opportunity to win, whether that's deferring money or not. So it'll happen eventually. There'll be players that don't want to defer money, I'm sure, but there'll be players that are willing to. So it's just going to be on a case-by-case basis.
Yeah, totally. I'll boost my setup once I actually get a real mic. I'm quite literally using, my Bose headphones plugged into the Mac Mini. I don't have...
Not a lot of flexibility there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll totally I'll get a better setup. Maybe next go around. Next paycheck. Screw that. They can...
Deferring money is, say your contract has a $6 million AAV, right? So you get paid on average $6 million a year for your contract. If you are due, let's just keep it simple, $6 million for your deal this year, you can defer $4 million of that to 2045, whatever, right? So you only get paid physically $2 million this year, even though your cap hit and contracts say that you're supposed to get $6 million this year, which is essentially just circumventing the Avs or the NHL's cap rules, where a player, the amount of money they're actually getting paid can't jump in either direction by more than 35% year over year. Because on paper, technically, he's supposed to get $6 million in that season, but they're just deferring the money. So it has nothing to do with actual cap hit. This just has to do with NHL GMs saving physical dollars in the moment. Which, it just should be unnecessary for the NHL. In baseball and stuff, contracts are so outrageously stupid that I understand it. But the NHL cap shit, it is a fraction of what any other leagues is. You get paid so much less compared to other major sports leagues in the NHL that if you can't afford to pay your team's cap hit, then you shouldn't own a team. Yeah, I mean, sure. On the player side, it's kind of weird, right? Because you can circumvent cap or taxes and stuff, but also you're also lowering the value of your money because inflation exists. So waiting to get paid $6 million 10 years from now will be less than $6 million today. I appreciate that, Andrew, and all the love you guys are showing us in the chat for the watch-alongs. Y'all are what make this work. If it weren't for you, I'd just be shouting into the void here. Pretty slow game, to be honest. The Avs have had a couple good chances. Minnesota has basically had none, and obviously the Avs converted on one. So good, but I would still like to see better offensive generation from the Avs. Yeah, of course. There's a million ways to circumvent the cap, and there always will be. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, right? So it is what it is, but...
That's what I should have told my teachers in high school.
Thank you, Steve. Yeah, the Avs have been the better team. It's just pretty low event. Not sure what to expect here. Obviously, expect the Avs legs to go a little bit later in the game, so you definitely want more than one, but coming off a game like you did the other night with Chicago sometimes gives you that extra jump a little bit. Maybe the Avs can keep their legs for an entire 60.
Brew, you're my resident pessimist. What do you think the attendance is going to be for Sunday? Like, I'm not expecting it to be Vancouver, mostly because we don't have that big of a stadium. But like,
have they announced what the maximum attendance can be? Like, are they blocking off seats or not?
I have no idea. I didn't even think about that.
Because my guess was like 10,000, but I bet they only sold like 12,000 tickets or something.
Ugh. I want it to be 15.
What's the actual total number of seats they could possibly sell?
I mean, it's 18.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
every night.
Yeah,
Abs, right?
18 something is. I don't know what the exact number is, but
like I wasn't expecting 18, but
yeah, had onion chicken for dinner. I showed it earlier. I've basically eaten it all now.
Yum.
It was with potatoes and asparagus.
What do I want to make for dinner?
Yeah, I was just in the right place at the right time. Worked out for me, Kyle, that an opening came up and I happened to fill it.
Same.
Yeah, I mean, I hope they sell a full 18K, but it's a bit tougher in Denver just because we're so far away from any other opportunistic city. And like, I think Denver will get a PWHL team eventually.
Yeah, I don't know
like,
if it'll be this upcoming 2 that they're basically doing this for, but
geographically, it's just too hard to put a team in Colorado this early on with the teams that they currently have. But hey, I mean, we just got the NWSL team announcement, so.
Oh.
Yeah, time check 8:59, 58, 57, 56, 55. Good save by Blackwood there. I've been really encouraged by Blackwood's ability to make the saves he needs to, even in games where it's very low event for him. When he first got here, the Avs kind of weren't doing a good job of limiting other teams, and he was making a bunch of saves on like 30-plus save nights, but he's had a handful of games where he's facing 20, 22, that level of shots, and he still looks just as good as he did when he was facing 30-plus. Yeah, I think the Avs are obviously coming off that Chicago game, so it's a Sega Baba feel for them, and Minnesota just looks lost with all of the injuries they're dealing with right now.
I love that they've been putting the games on YouTube. It's just, It feels so, it's just so easy to watch.
Unless you're like a major sports brand, if you're not on one of or both of YouTube or Twitch, I think you're genuinely making a mistake. You will grow your audience so much faster by putting yourself on those platforms, because modern, like, people my age and younger, a lot of us don't even have television. We don't even pay for it. So, like, how else are you going to get your eyes on your sport otherwise? Oh, absolutely. I don't feel bad for Minnesota at all. I mean, Blackwood has yet to have a game where he gives up more than 2 goals with the Avs. If he does that for the rest of the season, he'll get Vezina votes. Don't think he'll win. I think it's going to be really hard to beat Hellebuck this year, but he'll get votes. Honestly, I don't think it was anything more than it just, one, Blackwood was a little bit less experienced in his career, so he probably wasn't ready for the moment. And two, that New Jersey team was not as good as people thought it was. Not that they were bad. Yeah, dude just got his stick slashed in half. You got to call that. Not that New Jersey team was bad, but that New Jersey team as a whole, I don't think was ready for the moment when Blackwood was there. And I know Blackwood was terrible and fell off a cliff and whatever, but keep in mind, when he was in New Jersey, Blackwood was, 25? So for a goalie, that's pretty darn young. I don't think we'll see that all. If you're going to see an all Finn line, it would probably be Lecky, Parsnip, and Mikko as the second line if Casey's struggling or something and the Avs want to juggle. That's the word. Juggle the top 6. Yeah, I agree. Varley should have won the Vezina that year. Is what it is. An Avs goalie has never won the Vezina. They've had 2 Vezina winners, both Waugh and Theodore, but they did not win it with the Avs.
Crazy.
Yeah, they just have to pour it right into their mouth from the fountain.
As somebody that loves to bring my emotional support water bottle everywhere, I have no need for cups at places. Like, let me just fill up my water bottle. Fill my water bottle with the beer. I don't care.
I mean, if it works, it works. I'm not a doctor or scientist. I don't know exactly why it takes longer for goaltenders to develop, but if you're looking for my opinion on it, I think it's a couple of things. One, goaltending is an extremely mental position. It takes a lot of mental maturity to be a quality goaltender, especially at the NHL level. So I think a couple extra years of development, that is as important as anything. And the other side of it is you tend to have more, you need to be more precise as an NHL goaltender than in any other position. You can get away with maybe not having the best shot and most accurate shot in the world as an NHL forward if you do other things well. But goaltending wise, if you don't have great positioning, you're not going to be ready for the NHL. You're going to get burned in the NHL if you don't have that down pat. And that gets even more complicated by the fact that a lot of these goalies are Europeans, which play on different size ice. There are kids in North America. There are college kids that play on international size ice at some colleges because that's the way their rink was built. So those little minor details do seem to matter more for goalies than they do for skaters. All right. You got one at 5-on-5. Stars, help yourselves out on the power play here and just run away with this game, huh? Still trying saucy garbage to the middle. I get getting pucks to the middle is good, but at a certain point, Mikko and Mac have to be your shooters. Or Mac can just keep sending errant passes through the middle. That's fine, too.
Avs admin made a Drake and Josh reference. They have to be somewhere between your age and my age, right, Rudo?
Yeah, Drake, I was a little old for Drake and Josh, so probably younger than me, but yeah, definitely around your age.
That's hilarious. Hug me, brother.
All right. I mean, that was a better play. Mac didn't try an insanely difficult pass. He just made the correct pass to Drew in there, but ultimately missed the net. Yeah, it's not reaction time. It's much more the technical aspect of the position than it is actual raw ability when it comes to goalies. Yeah, I agree. I think the Avs top players are trying to force the perfect play than just rather than just making the simple play and working it far too much as of late. And like they're good enough players that sometimes they can make that work, but I don't know, man. McKinnon is just oh my god, what in the world was that, Minnesota? Holy cow, Ross can't friggin' believe it. Well, that's my Ross Colton point. We'll take it. We'll take it however we can get it. Whoops. Good read from Ross to go against Gustafson's momentum there with the shot. That face is so gifable. Oh my god.
I just got to it. That was awesome.
The replay of his face. Oh man.
So good. When you put the Ross Colton bet for pregame, I was thinking about how he was on a roll before he got hurt, and we haven't really seen that come back.
Yep. That's a way to get a roll started right there.
Hope that starts it.
All right, huge goal. I mean, that's a gift, but you'll take gifts. No complaints.
He is a handsome man. Team male model for sure.
Yeah, he qualifies. All right, how many goals would it take to get the e-bug in.
Yeah, Casey.
Yeah, look, I'm not gay either, but a super chat's a super chat. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, and like, yes, I still want the Avs to actually play more effective offense, and the power play wasn't good enough. But for a Sega Baba game, if they can finish this next 2 minutes, you get out of the first period up 2-0, and you really haven't expended that much of your legs. Pretty ideal start for the Avs. Pretty darn ideal. Not sure exactly what happened. The Avs' defensive structure fell apart in front. DeHaan tried to make a sliding play that didn't work, but I'm not sure about the rest of the coverage. Let's see. Yeah, Druin gets caught puck watching a bit. Is covering nothing in front, and that's supposed to be his man in that situation. Not great, Bob. That's unfortunate. You hate to give goals back like that. All right. Well, it's never friggin' easy with this team. They're just not capable. There is your ex-player Trenin point, though. So at least we got that out of the way. Puck still loose in front, boys. Make a play. I think, first of all, Bedsy way hotter with the high and tight haircut. Full stop. But objectively, he's top 3 hottest coach in the league. I did not. I can go look at that other super chat, though. Yes, if I play hockey, like recreational beer league, I don't. I'll go to like a stick and puck sometimes. I actually never really played hockey properly. I played a little bit like when I was a kid, but calling that hockey is generous. Nope. I got good at my job by being a degenerate and just spending all day every day watching hockey in my mid to early 20s. For getting back into the lineup for these 2 games, it's been a bit of a tough go for DeHaan. Have not loved his game. And I get it's hard to come off of a break like that, but you'd be hoping for better if he's trying to earn a spot in the lineup.
Sorry, fam. I was busy clipping or screenshotting
Ross's
Ross's
face.
face. I was like, I bet I could do this real quick. Took me for fucking ever.
Ugh. I mean, you still have the lead. You should still feel good about that period. I'm just really tired of the Avs having periods where they give up 4 shots on goal and make one brain dead mistake that costs them. And I guess it's not Sam Girard's fault this time, huh? Since he's not in the lineup. You can't blame him. All right. I mean, strong period. I mean, we talked a little bit about Maxie the other day. Obviously, all puppies are the cutest things on the planet.
Yay, puppies. Should have been named Howler.
All right. It is intermission, so I'm going to take my quick break, but I'll be back with numbers and we'll talk more in 5 to 10 minutes. So see you soon.
Give you guys something to look at. unmuted.
All right, we're back. Natural stat trick broke, so I don't have the fun advanced statistics for the entire period, which is sad. But the Avs are still leading the game, and if their plan is to give up 12 shots for the entire game, they're probably going to win. So I'm all for that. You also have 2 depth goals, and I guess Ross isn't really depth, but he's not your top line. So if your top line could go give you a goal, you're sitting pretty.
All right, how do I export this as a GIF? Let's see if this will actually work, because last time I tried to make a GIF, it didn't work.
When we Grubhub, we usually get Chinese.
Ugh, don't tempt me.
Mostly because the Chinese places don't charge outrageous delivery fees around here.
They're like, here, 50 cents? Sure. Buy 2 things, get free delivery. It's like, okay. Yeah. Cool. Oh, fuds. Don't tempt me, Dave.
Yeah, I regularly will watch games done quick stuff. I've only watched like 1 or 2 runs from the one going on right now, but yeah, I've been in the speedrunning community forever. I am not good enough at video games to speedrun anything, but like I was watching people speedrun Ocarina of Time back when Twitch was still just in TV, so
Call it Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, I know. I can't say it right, but
that's okay. I was just making sure.
Ocarina.
There you go. I do think it's funny. People give Eric so much shit. 1, he's French. 2, some people just can't say things. I know people that just can't say washer. Like, some people just can't say things. Leave them alone.
I know multiple people that can't say Nichushkin's name correctly. It's just one of those names.
I mean, I bet anybody from the media, like the national broadcast, can't say his name. Actually, funny anecdote from when I met Georgiev's brother. He said, he's like, the best thing about living here is that everybody was able to get the name right. I was like, no way, that's cool. It's like, yeah, everybody could actually pronounce our name.
Sometimes lucky.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, because we actually care. Which, by the way, chat, yeah, fun little anecdote. I randomly met Georgiev's brother. He was very nice. Tipped well. That's all that matters.
If you live in the New England area, there's a good chance you say water.
Wooter.
Give me some water.
I did see this funny, I know you're not on TikTok, I saw a funny TikTok of, it was, it's like, make your Northern Irish girlfriend say, Mayor, it was Mayor, Mayor, or something like that, and it just, she just,
yeah. Accents don't do that to you.
Yeah, leave people alone. Was anybody else chronically online enough when they were a kid to know that video of the person that was like, leave Brittany alone?
Yes.
Like crying underneath a fort.
That's like one of the more famous videos
I know,
of that era.
I'm just making sure. Some people don't know. It's like when I bring up shoes and people think I'm fucking crazy.
OMG.
Oh my god.
Shoes.
These shoes roll. These shoes suck. I was watching that in elementary school.
Marchand washed, confirmed.
Ah, speaking of Marchand, that mom video was so funny. It was like his mom being it was like the trend of being my kid for a day or something, and she was just so funny. She's like, it's so nice waking up and being me. And then she had like a thing, it was like, who I'm gonna piss off today.
I've never practiced yoga ever. As a kid, I was very flexible. I played first base. I could basically like do the splits, but then I put on a bunch of weight and got old, and now I'm not flexible at all. I would never go to a yoga studio. Even if I wanted to do yoga, I would just do it at home. I'm not the type of person that goes to stuff like that.
3,000 years ago, I was there. Azure, you're one of my favorite people in this chat. I hope you know that. You constantly make my day.
Okay. Well, because they gave up a late goal, they're in the same boat they are always in, which is got to get the next one. I have no idea what the warrior pose is. I know nothing about yoga. All I know is the downward dog one. That's the only position that I know. All right. Let's see if the Av Stars can show up and get this game done for them. They should just take all rules out of face-offs. Face-offs should just you should just be allowed to do whatever you want and cheat, and whatever happens happens. Yeah, I too would like a clock so I can tell you guys the time of the game, but that's out of my control.
Oh, God. Someone in chat put that the altitude clock was off by 10 seconds.
Believable.
Oh, my God. I really do think it's just a bunch of one intern running that entire broadcast studio.
It might be.
I wouldn't be surprised, knowing what their PR team used to look like.
My theory is that they just forget at the start of every period.
They're like, oh, we're back.
Yeah.
Well, I'm about, I want to say 10 seconds behind you.
Whoa, what a save.
And I'm
Absolutely.
at 1927.
1907, 06, 05, 04. Altitude's clock just lagged, so I don't know. Doing our best. This time it's not our fault, chat. This time it's Altitude's fault.
They're so never mind. I won't divulge.
Dude, Calvin DeHaan has got to start playing defense and stop playing goaltender. Stop blocking shots. Start playing defense.
He sat out for 4 games and he forgot to play hockey.
And now he thinks he's a goalie? Like, what's up?
No, we're fine. I'm also behind you, so that was a delayed reaction from whatever. I'm going to mute myself.
Nah, you're good. Yeah, the defensive structure through these first 2 minutes of the second period has been bad. I mean, the altitude clock, like the game clock they're showing, just straight up lags every 2 seconds and just sits on a number. No. Like it's
like actually broken.
Yeah.
Their graphic is broken. That's not good. Who knows the last time somebody
it's just
updated that
stuck
thing.
On 1726 now.
Sick.
I mean, they're just puck watching. Everyone's just floating towards the puck right now instead of playing their position. It's not pretty to watch. They're getting away with it. It's because Mackenzie Blackwood good, but, you know. Some days we might. In
studio, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, that gets to Drew, and it's a free goal.
Ow. Took that puck right to the arm.
I mean, honestly, those stats aren't that crazy for McKinnon. Those are like pretty average Nathan McKinnon stats on bouncing back after a pointless game. Do you guys not like Altitude? I've seen some mixed comments about them here. I like their announcers, but that's just me. No offense if chat doesn't. I like all of the people that work at Altitude. The people are good people.
Yes.
They're all awesome. It's the product they put out reflects what they invest in it. And that's not the people that's working there's fault. That's the people who pay the bills' fault.
Yes.
Wow, they called that? Ooh, did he catch him in the face? Is that why? Must be. Yeah, okay, that makes more sense. I was going to say the stick-on-stick did not look like a penalty.
I don't hear as much about the Nuggets broadcast, but I think even, like, the difference between the Nuggets broadcast and the Avs broadcast is just night and day. You can see where they put their money. And then the Rapid stuff is just abysmal. So you just see how they spend their money.
Yep.
Words out on Drew and that he's made a fucking glass.
I mean, if it draws a power play, it's fine with me.
an ice broadcast only
Oh yeah,
would be.
ice sound only broadcast would be better than every broadcast team there is, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, nothing wrong with liking the altitude broadcasters. I think they do a fine job, but I promise you, if you ask any non-Avs fan, they will rank the Avs broadcast bottom 5. Thank you for the 10, Irish. Can't let KC be your only supporters. Can we get altitude to 1080p? I will tell you, that's one of the things I'm most jealous of the Canadian market. Oh, did he hit the post? And I know, like, the Canadian market has massive problems with their television rights and how many paywalls and stuff there are. But the fact that they can get games in 4K, I wish we could get hockey games in 4K in the States.
The baby wants to hang out.
Well, the baby's going to destroy stuff in this room, so.
Oh, okay. Keep her in air jail.
She's too wriggly. So Madge. Probably Madge because she's in jail. Most hockey is still 720p here. Some of the national games like TNT and stuff are 1080.
Crazy. That's wild. It is kind of crazy that you can live in a state that doesn't have a hockey team at all, but you are subjected to blackouts.
Yeah, it's a mess. It's an absolute mess.
Like, you should be able to get 32 teams. You should be able to get every broadcast you could possibly want. Bullshit. Such bullshit.
The NHL as a league was very... They lacked foresight of where the future of sports is heading with online streaming, and they made choices. And don't get me wrong, their current television deal is far better for the league than the one they were coming off of with NBC Sports, but there was just no future proofing at all. They're now stuck in a television contract, and their streaming rights are a mess. I'd love to give you guys another time check, but Altitude realized their clock was broken, so... It's been a pretty slow period. After the initial opportunities for Minnesota, you had that one great chance from Colton on the power play, and that was pretty much it. Yeah, there are places on the East Coast. There are like certain regions that are blocked out of 6 NHL teams. It's like the stupidest thing imaginable.
Why would we want people to watch our product?
Maybe Sylvie's complaining because she's blacked out of this game.
She's like, I want to hang out with Dad.
Ooh. KC says, I'm in Canada and I use Sportsnet Plus or whatever it is. I hate it. Can't choose what broadcast we want to listen to like you could on the NHL Live app. Damn, I missed that. Sportsnet sucks. Like I said, I know you guys have lots of problems up there with like television paywalls and I don't know how all that stuff works. So yeah, I imagine that's no fun.
I actually really liked the NHL app. Especially if you did get like a VPN, it was great. You could rewatch games, like you could rewatch games from the week prior, like any team, like it was just, it was so intuitive, so much better than anything that we have right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's a mess right now because, yeah, that was post tough for us. Like the landscape is stuck in the middle right now because things are starting to transition to streaming, but sports leagues still have channel deals on actual television, so you have to have like 5 products if you want to watch every single game. Like for hockey right now, you need whatever your local broadcast is on, however you get that. You need availability of national stuff for TNT. You need ESPN Plus, not just for ESPN, the channel, which you have to get somehow how else for the national games. Then there are games that are exclusively on ESPN Plus that you need to get. If you don't get TNT, you need HBO Max to get those games. And then there are like a handful of other games a year that are on like random shit, like an Amazon streaming only or something. If you're trying to watch more than just your team, the ads happen to not be on Amazon for any games this year. So you need way too many products right now to be able to watch all of the sports that you want to. I can let my older dog in because he won't destroy everything. Come here. Look, there's Rex.
Sweet baby.
He's always so camera shy. He never wants to look at it.
He's like, I don't like it. Don't look at me. You do not have permission.
You're halfway through this game and you put up the 6 saves stat. Love it. They've really just given up on the scoreboard. Okay, never mind. They finally brought it back up. 10, 45, 44, 43, 42, 41. Yeah, ESPN Plus is an American thing. It's just obviously there's different national broadcast holders in Canada, so it's a different system entirely. Back in the early 2010s, it was like the mid 2010s, really. There was a website called hockeystreams.com, which was illegal, but it was a paid service. And for $99, you would get every single NHL game, every single AHL game, and every single Canadian junior game. And it was a fantastic product. Obviously, after a couple of years, the NHL sent them a cease and desist and all of that. But when the illegal product is simply just better than the product you're putting out, maybe the problem is you, NHL. I mean, this has been another solid period for the Avs. Again, they gave up those 2 chances right at the start of the period, but they've given Minnesota pretty much nothing since then. But they don't have a goal, so how good can you really feel about it? Colton has 2 years left on his deal, so there's not a whole lot to say about signing him. Yeah, I pay for an AHL subscription and a junior subscription every year. It's a lot of money, but it's also my job, so. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things I don't like about the way the NHL does stuff, but they actually have done a good job of growing the game globally. Like, there are a lot of countries now where it's growing in popularity instead of just non existent. I would if I could, Max. Like, I I know their channel rates and stuff are a mess, but they've done a good job of showcasing the game to other countries. And unfortunately, when it gains a little bit of traction in those countries, people try to make money off of it by doing stupid stuff with television rights.
I have a friend regular at Bulldog. She loves cricket and rugby. Born and raised here, doesn't have any UK, Europe ties, nothing like that. But man, is rugby and cricket her sports. It's kind of cool, but kind of funny. Because I have no idea what she's talking about half the time.
I could get into rugby sevens. I could get into that was sick at the Olympics. The like 20-man rugby or whatever, not my favorite. And then I don't know, cricket's just not for me. It's fine, but I like actual baseball, unlike most people. So this game is broken down into neutral zone slop for a lot of possessions here. Appreciate the love, Max. It's not the worst thing in the world. Like, the Avs are probably pretty happy to play low energy neutral zone stuff with a lead on their legs, but also you'd be a lot happier to do it if the Avs score one more goal. Oh my God, what was that coverage from Taves? Bailed out by Blackwood. Just asleep at the wheel there. He just totally lost his man. Oh, Miko, you're nuts. Absolutely insane. Out of nowhere. Not a great night for Gus. Not that I'm complaining. Miko should be able to rifle some of those home every year. So The Avs finally got a 5-on-5 goal from their top line. Let's go. And it comes off of a great save from Blackwood to bail out Taves. But you know what? That's hockey. That's gone the other way against the Avs plenty of times this year. It just beats them clean. Wow. Sick. All right. Huge. Now we're good. Like, you want to keep playing gross neutral zone hockey now? Absolutely chilling. All right. I hit 2 out of my 3 bets. So I'm making money tonight. And I said what? Did I say 4-1? I think I said 4-1. So that's still alive too. This team is so predictable sometimes, man. They lose an ugly game to a bad team, and then they come back and beat a good team and give them absolutely nothing. I mean, you never feel fully comfortable until the final buzzer, right? Unless the game gets out of hand, obviously. But you feel a lot better than you did a minute ago. Yep, that's fine. Oh, you called that trip, huh? Okay. I'd get the call, but I don't like it. I do not remember Craig Janney. I don't know who that is. Yeah, man, that's a pretty. It's an optics call. I get it from the ref side. That looks a lot like a trip, but there's really not a lot there. Kerfoot wasn't as skilled as Middlestat. I get what you guys are saying. Definitely pass first type players, but Mitz is much better with the puck than Kerfoot ever was. All right. Ooh, good little stick from Kale there to keep a floating puck out. You kill this, and you're probably feeling pretty good. And a good clear. Yeah, I'd say if you're the Wild, I think you should be incredibly disappointed with how they've played in this game so far. You have 9 shots on goal 35 minutes into a game. I don't care how many players are injured. That's bad hockey. And their power play looking suspiciously like the Avs power play right now. And by that, I mean bad. He'd really like to see the Avs win that puck, but Minnesota fumbles, so it's fine. And you killed it. Very nice kill. He gave up one shot on goal. That's it. All right. No no-nos here. Finish the period strong. What? What you salty about? I mean, Casey has always been an overpasser. That's just who he is. That shouldn't be that surprising. Nathan, for most of his career, has not been that guy. Yeah, I mean, the Avs have just been better committed to the details tonight. Their only real issue is some defensive structure breakdowns, which happen especially with tired legs. Their puck management has been a lot better in the defensive zone tonight. And, you know, they're actually scoring on their opportunities, so that's cool too. Yeah, Blackwood has played great. I mean, he's made a couple of big saves. It's a balance, right? He's done what you've asked of him. He's only faced 9 shots, 10 shots, but that can be hard as a goalie, and he stopped 8 of them, 8 of the 9. So, like I said, it's been impressive to me that Blackwood has found ways to play quality hockey, whether he's facing 30 shots or whether he's facing 12. So, I mean, yeah, Gustafsson hasn't been good tonight, but I think the Avs have done a better job of shooting when the opportunity presents itself. Uh, that goal from Miko, no chance in a million years he shoots that thing last night. Last night, he's pulling up, trying to make some ridiculous sauce pass to try and make a perfect play. Tonight, he lets it go, and guess what? He's a pretty good shooter. It's 3-1. Yeah, Blackwood is a very, very calm goalie in that for sure. Generally speaking, very square to the puck. Obviously, in high danger situations, he has to react and scramble to some extent, of course, but that's the position. That's they. Blackwood has actually stopped multiple grade A's tonight. And Jeremy, there have been a few. One of them was off of a rebound that really should have been a goal for Minnesota, and the one that Taves' terrible coverage on was also. Both of those are pretty clean grade A's, if you ask me. And I can. It might be updated. Let's see if stat is working. Yeah, 8 high danger chances at 5-on-5 in this game for Minnesota, and only one of them has gone in. So some of those missed the net, of course, but Blackwood has done a good job. Obviously, he hasn't faced a ton of shots, but there's been enough high danger in there that you have to give him some credit. Rudo, do you have a skincare routine? Do you use serums or exfoliants or facial oils? If so, what brands are you into? No, I have no skincare routine at all. I use my Manscaped soap, and that is it.
Gotta be using the Mando.
That's true. We have Mando now. I haven't. I've only picked up their deodorant so far, though. So we'll see. Yeah, that was a bad call. Kale definitely got a piece of that. Should not have been offsides. Oh well, you'll take a good break when you can get one if you're the Avs. Yeah, up by 2 now. You'd like to see a little bit more of the fourth line, but the reality is, and I'm not trying to be mean, but the Avs' fourth line is Parker Kelly and 2 guys that probably shouldn't be in the NHL. The Avs just don't have a choice with the injuries they're dealing with tonight. But Felleber and Inala both probably should not be on a healthy, even a semi-healthy NHL lineup. Yeah, fair enough, Bufonzo. But also, in this league, I don't know what possession is anymore. The definition of possession has been so destroyed by reviews in this league where it's like, well, this guy had possession even though he wasn't technically touching the puck. And this guy actively lost possession, but they're calling it possession. And sometimes a guy clearly has possession and they're saying, no, he didn't actually have possession of it. So I just don't know what to make of situations where it has to be possession anymore in the NHL, or just they're almost as made up as goalie interference. Ooh, that was dangerous. DeHaan almost killed a man, but he missed. I believe we are at 39 players used. So technically 40 if you count Mandalese, who didn't play but dressed as a backup for a game.
What happens if we hit 40?
Nothing. It's just a ridiculous number.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if there was like a cap or.
No cap. It's just most teams won't use 40 players in an entire season, and the Avs have nearly hit it at the halfway mark. Okay. Thank you for not making that play work, Matt Boldy. I appreciate that. Yeah, he just sand wedged it to the moon. It's a pretty easy goal if he gets a good stick on it. I guess Matt gets a stick in there a little bit, but oh yeah, the Avs are by far number 1 in man games lost. I mean, Mitz won't stay at 3C, so It's not even a conversation worth having. That conversation is very simple. Either Mitz finds the consistency and becomes your 2C, which I believe he will. Or if he can't do that, then you flip him for someone who can do the job. Any other conversation is not worth having. Also, if the Avs could stop rather crashing into each other, that'd be cool. Please don't hurt yourselves. Good block. Just nothing to the middle here. All right. Good. Good period. Still pretty low event. Still pretty on the slow side, which is fine for the Avs on a Segababa, and they won the period with a big goal from your stars. You've gotten most everything you wanted tonight. I think it's hard to be too upset with the Avs play so far in this period. It is intermission though, so I am going to take a break, and we'll be back in 5 to 10 minutes.
Hi, chat. Hi, Casey. I kind of have a skincare routine. I mean, I definitely do. I have a ton of products, but I like buy stuff, realize I don't really like it, try to like get through it, but I will also like, buy stuff that I actually like in the meantime, so I kind of switch back and forth. But yeah, I kind of just do the double cleanse, like oil base, water base, exfoliate once a week, the whole shebang. So yeah, that's my skincare routine. Thanks for asking. All right, go back on, Rue.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it, I think this Middlestat thing is overblown. If you go look around the NHL and you filter by centers, Casey is producing as the 50th best center in the NHL. So, by definition, that would be a lower end 2C. And I think it's fair that you want Casey to produce as a high end 2C. But the idea that Casey is completely failing as a 2C in this league is not really an accurate statement. He's had long slumps and he needs to be more consistent. You'd like him to be scoring on a 60 plus point pace instead of the 50-point pace that he's on right now this season. But the idea that he's been an abject failure, I don't agree with. On the advanced analytical side of things, Middlestat has been the victim of some of the worst PDO on the Avs. For everyday players, at very least, the only players with significantly worse PDO than him is Josh Manson. Um, it just the save percentage on ice save percentage for Casey at 5-on-5 has been terrible, which some of that is a factor of playing poor defense and giving up high danger chances, but some of that is a factor of he's just not getting saves when he's on the ice. Yeah, yes. If you cut out the part of the game where a part of the season where he scored all of his points, he doesn't have a lot of points. It's been a slow stretch for Casey, but not a lot of it, but some of that is a regression to the mean because he started off the season way hot. That wasn't going to be sustainable either. So it swung back the other way, and now it's fair to say it's swung too far. Like I said, you want Casey to produce more effectively and more consistently than he has, but I think the problem is overblown. Not that it's fixed, but it's overblown.
Um, so I have was born and raised here in Colorado. And I was born in the late 90s, so during that second cup, I have very, very like small memories of like my dad going crazy and like, being really excited. So I always kind of like quote unquote liked hockey, but there wasn't really anybody in my life like willing to teach me the game or like sit me down, and my dad wasn't actually like really good at that either. Like he was kind of very much a casual fan. Um, So I always like wore the merch and stuff as a kid, but like didn't really know the first thing about hockey. I could name like five, maybe two, three players at a time, right? And then two things really got me into the sport. The first thing that I actually don't really think about often, but I have more recently, was that like crazy gold medal shootout from the women's game.
Yeah.
Rudo, you probably know what year that was off the top of your head, but I don't remember. 97, not
2016?
2007. Uh, but yeah, 2016, and I
Or
remember
not, would it be 2018? I forget. I don't
so,
know.
something like that. But that shootout game, it was like I had a friend that is a Penguins fan, and he came into the bar that we worked at like 2 in the morning. We were closing, and he's like, "You guys don't need to stay open. I don't need alcohol. I don't need food. I just want to watch this game." And so we stayed with him and watched it, and it was like the coolest thing ever. And then 2019, Cale Makar's very first game point playoff performance. I was working at a bar, and I was just happened to like watch the TV during that, and I was like, this is like literally the coolest thing ever. I think I really, really like this sport. And so I asked my Penguins fan friend if he could like teach me. And little did I know he was like a fucking mega nerd, like Rudo and AJ, and was like willing to like literally like pause, rewind, like pick apart everything. Like, do you know why this happened? Do you know what that was? Like, let me explain this. So there's this like weird little thing. Like, he was so willing to do all of that and like just teach me everything. And then I was going back to school at the same time for broadcast journalism, more for like entertainment. I'm really big into like movies and television, and like I minored in media, cinema, and media studies. So I was actually going way more for that, or like news. And then when I fell in love with hockey, I was like, we need more women in hockey. So I'm just going to make that my goal. And yeah, here I am. And then I mega stalked everyone on DNVR, started working at the bar, became friends with everybody, and was like, hey, by the way, I go to school for this, and you guys really need a hockey producer. Can I be the hockey producer? And so I shadowed for like a year, interned for like half a year, or part-timed for like half a year, and then full-timed. It's actually been a year. This January was technically my first year anniversary as a full-time producer here. So, snaps to me.
Wahoo!
Thanks for
Congrats.
asking.
Yeah, I mean, it's he has to pick it up. There's no doubt. Casey needs to play better than he has for the past 2 months, but he's shown he's capable of it, and I think he can get back to it. And yeah, if he doesn't, if it's March 1st and Casey has continued to not produce at the level that the Avs need him to, then yeah, the Avs should probably do something about it at the deadline. But it's too early for me to be thinking about that. All right. Third period, 2-goal lead. You expect to push pretty heavy from Minnesota here. We'll see how the Avs legs can handle it. But really, no excuses. You got to win this one. Wow, that was so weird. Clock 1945, 44, 43, 42, 41. Ooh, Nowinski. Not a great play there, but they're calling that a penalty, I guess. Boy, I don't think that was a penalty, but whatever. The Avs have gotten some good breaks with the reffing tonight. I feel like they probably have owed some. I feel like a lot of nights the reffing has not gone the Avs' way. Tonight feels like some things have gone their way. Bro, that is embarrassingly soft. Anyone can do what I do. I'm not special in any way. I'm just a crazy person who decided to learn everything I can about hockey by watching 1,000 games in a year and then continuing to watch a ridiculous amount of hockey and put in the work to learn the analytics behind it. And it's nothing special. It's just a lot of hours. That's all.
What do they say it takes? Like how many hours to become an expert?
10,000.
I'm fairly certain you've put in that, if not more. Like
Probably.
Like I I have an interest in like doing what Rudo does for like the PWHL in some capacity at some point.
Oh,
And
Nico.
like Rudo has made it very clear. He's like there is no shortcut. Like
Yep.
you gotta watch. You gotta watch every single game. You gotta rewatch every game if you need to. Like it's work. It's just watching a lot of hockey.
Yep.
It's not the easy answer, but I mean it is just like literally how you become an expert at anything.
Yeah. It's and like don't get me wrong, I love what I do. You have to love it to do it to that level, but it's not like it's an easy thing. One of my favorite quotes out there, which I've said it on here before, from a StarCraft player was, if you want to do something professionally like that, there are days where you're not going to want to do it and you have to do it. And then there are days where you really don't want to do it. You have to do it. There are going to be days where you'd rather do anything else in the world and you have to do it. It's your job. It does not matter on the days you don't want to do it. You still have to do it. Yeah, I mean, this team has been a completely different hockey team since they've gotten real goaltending. They're 10 games over 500 because they've got real goaltenders now. They were battling hard to stay at 500 with their old goalies. It's night and day. Just not quite a clean enough pass from Lucky there in Mikko's skates, so he couldn't pull the trigger. Didn't execute, but I don't mind that play from Mikko. He did shoot the puck. There are not many people that watch more hockey than the hockey guy. He watches a ton of hockey. He also and this is not a bad thing. I'm not trying to say it's a bad thing. It's just when you watch that many teams, your analysis is going to be surface level to a certain extent. You're just not going to know the intricacies of that many teams. It's just part of the deal if you're going to try and cover the entire league. Yeah, it's going to be an icing. Avs legs don't look great to start of the third here. They're not like a disaster mode or anything, but yeah, Malinsky's last 3 weeks or so have not been great. And like context, yeah, he's playing with Keaton Middleton. That doesn't help. But I think it's fair to expect more from him. The Avs bottom pairing is very much up in the air, in my opinion. Come March, you're going to have a healthy Shillington in theory. The Avs are probably looking to add at least one more defenseman to the lineup if they can. There's a lot more competition there than there is for Casey at 2C. I'll put it to you that way. Oof, tough clear there. This is a sketchy shift now. There you go. Good battle win. Kelly able to get his stick in up high there. Allows the Avs to get out of the zone. And he snipes too. Why not, baby? What in the world? Where did that come from? I will take it. Not a good night. Not a good night for the Gus Bus. You love to see a guy make a good defensive play and get rewarded on the other end, though. That always feels good. Good battle by Kivy up the boards. Yeah, Gustafsson was just not ready for that shot at all. He barely even reacts. Does go barring in between the legs. Pretty damn good shot, to be fair to Parker Kelly. That's a ridiculously good shot. All right, 4-1. We're perfect. End the game. Call it here. Yeah, Dangle was working with Sportsnet for a while, right? And like, it's interesting because obviously Dangle was like the pioneer of YouTube hockey content, and he created the idea of reactions, Leaf fan reactions, game reviews, whatever you want to call them. The thing that was super, super cool about Dangle working with a network is that he got to do watch-alongs and actually show the game, which I'm mad jealous of. Like, that was the coolest stuff ever. But yeah, he decided to leave and make kind of his own podcast network, SDPN, which, cool. I hope it goes to the moon. If I ever have to leave DNVR, that might be like one of the places that would actually have interest in my skill set. So hopefully I never have to leave DNVR, but yeah. If Minnesota can get it back to within 2, the odds of Mikko Rantanen scoring an empty net goal are extraordinarily high to get that 5th goal for sure. Yeah, Dangle trade tree videos are very cool. I did a couple Avs ones a long time ago before I was really even with DNVR. And I was trying to do more. I was gonna do the Claude Lemieux trade tree, but it was so outrageously big that I like had to give up. It was gonna be like a 3 hour long video because the extensions of the tree just got ridiculous. Well, I said the Avs never make it easy, but they've really done a good job tonight. Obviously, that one goal against felt bad, but it has been pretty easy for Colorado tonight. Not to downplay the skill that they've put in to make this a 4-1 game. They've earned it, but they've taken advantage of a depleted Minnesota team. What's up, Robert? Yeah, I mean, we've seen producer Drew in the chat at times over the years. If he wants to come on a show, happy to have him.
Sorry, fam, I'd be making my dinner finally.
Yeah, eat. You gotta eat. Yeah. He I don't know. Like I'm a weird completionist person, so I hate taking like part of a trade tree and just showcasing that part of it. When I want to do one, I want to do one that's like it's the complete tree, which makes things like the Lindros thing impossible. Rudo, are you into crystals or home decor? What about you, Tiff? No.
Yes.
My I've moved into this house 2 years ago and I have not put anything on the walls. So I'm not a decorator at all. I am very much a function over form. I don't know what the phrase is. I only care about functionality. I don't care how it
Minimalist.
looks.
You are a
Sure, we'll go with
minimalist.
that.
Yeah.
Cover it. Cover it.
Um. Yes, I have. I've lived in this studio for only a year, so it's slowly starting to feel like home. I've got a lot of shelves and pictures and stuff up. I'm starting to propagate some plants and get those going. Yeah, starting to feel very homey in here. And then, yeah, there are a couple crystals lying around. Do I believe they do anything? I don't know. But I like them. They're cool. I've always kind of liked rocks.
Tanev is more of a 4C than a 3C. He had that 1 year where he really popped off with production, but in reality, you should not be paying that guy to be your 3C. He should be your 4C. Which, if you want to go get him and have him as your 4C, I'm fine with that if that's your target for the Avs. But I think there are probably better options out there. The thing is, like, with the Avs, you can't have the conversation of, oh, he's not a center anymore, because the Avs have clearly just shown they don't care. They'll just go get a player and make him play center and live with the consequences.
I'm gonna make you play center. You guys don't understand. I've been begging Rudo to do trade tree stuff since I was interning.
Yeah, I'll do it again someday. It's just
a lot of work.
I mean, I don't like. I like the work. It's just hard. Like, it's probably. Oh yeah, game over. Shorty, why not? Why not, Lecky? Hell of a game for Josh Manson tonight too. All right, looks like E was right again on the score predictions. I mean, that saves just luck, but sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, eh, Blackwood? And then Manson, with his legs, carries that all the way up. Nasty. Backhand feed to Lecky, too. Great finish. Oh, this team's so good when they want to be.
I don't know why it moves every time.
All right. Well, this was that was offside for sure. Dude wasn't even close. Yeah, okay. This game turned into exactly what you hoped it would be. Yeah. The Avs are what? After tonight, they'll be 1 for 15 on their power play. They're probably about 1 for 15 on their last 15 penalty kills, too. Yeah, going to be tough to get the Mikko empty netter now, for sure. I mean, look, standings wise, if you were told you can only beat one of Chicago and Minnesota, you'd take Minnesota every time. Oh, baby, you might get that 8-1 yet, Ezra. It might be coming right now. Nathan McKinnon gets his even strength goal just like Mikko. Tough night for Gus. What I mean, it's it. You could put the e-bug in. Why not? Throw the e-bug in there. Give the guy some love. There's still 10 minutes left in this period, too. This tough stretch of hockey for the Minnesota Wild right here. They just want that clock to hit 0. Ooh. Feels good. When's the last time the Avs actually popped off for 6 goals? It's been a while since they really ran the score up. Oh, duh, the Buffalo comeback. I'm stupid. That's an overtime though. Like you had extra time, that doesn't count. Before that, against Pittsburgh in early December was the last time they scored 6. And just for the record, like any play that happens in the last 10 minutes of this game doesn't matter to me. Like Casey trying to dangle and turn over there. The score is 6-1. They're not playing real hockey anymore. It's hard to take any actual analysis out of this game from here. Drew turns the game off and the Avs score twice. Huh. If you're a believer in superstitions. Yeah. The only objective left in this game is don't get hurt. For both teams, to be honest. This game is just over. Oh, yeah. Ty Felliber about to rack up those minutes, baby. All right, hear me out. Miner should give his helmet to Blackwood because then it fits the Steady Yeti theme. Certainly, the last couple of games, I think Parsonen has been a lot better. Last 3 games, ideal world, like if things work out, you want Parsonen to be a third line scorer for you. You're looking at a reasonably healthy Avs lineup. You probably want the Kelly, LOC, Kiviranta line to be your fourth line, and then you have a third line that ends up being Parsonen. Pick one of your top 7 guys that drops down. Druin or Lehkonen are probably the most. Druin, Lehkonen, or Colton. Pick one of those 3 to play on your third line instead of the top 6. And then the 3C that you go get at the deadline. In a perfect world, that's what your third line looks like. Yeah, I mean, the Gerard hate is crazy this year. Obviously, like he had that horrible play the other night, and people love to jump on bad plays, so it's whatever. But Gerard as an individual is probably having one of, if not the best seasons of his career. His biggest problem this season has been when he has to play next to Josh Manson when Josh Manson isn't playing well. Manson was an anchor for him for a large portion of the early part of the season. But yeah, he's basically on pace for his best career year offensively for the most part. While there are some mistakes in there, he's been very solid defensively for the Avs. At this point, I'm just not expecting Miles Wood to be back, to be honest with you. I mean, was Richie bad or was that Canadian team just bad in general? hard to separate the wheat from the chaff on that one. That's my guess. Incredible. I'm expecting Utah to announce their name as the Yeti. Yes, agreed. Manson has been much, much better since returning from that injury. They haven't really disclosed what happened fully to Wood. Like he had that game where he got hit in the gut, upper gut, lower chest area that he like freaked out on, and then it seemed like he was okay. Like he played in the next game or whatever it was, and then obviously he wasn't okay. And I don't know for sure that that's what the injury is, but all signs point to that being the problem. I mean, I'll say this. I don't think the Avs will trade Richie. I don't think the Avs will trade Gulyev, and I don't think the Avs will trade Nabokov. I think those are the only three assets that you feel are untouchable. And even those, if the right deal came up, if a deal came up that you truly believe would win you the Stanley Cup, you'd move. Not all of them, but one of them. Yeah, he did crash into the boards on his shoulder, too. Fair point. It just seems weird. Like if he hurt his shoulder, it seems like they would just tell us, yeah, he broke his shoulder or whatever. Oh God, did that hit Inola in the head? Yeah, Tays, the last 6, 7 games, Tays has been absolutely excellent. Maybe. So a lot of the people we've talked with super duper believe in Nabokov and his ability to be the man in the NHL, but we're still a couple of years away from that realistically. And the Avs got absolutely no help around the league. St. Louis is killing Anaheim. Dallas beat Philly. And that's pretty much it tonight. Sorry, chat. I'm writing stuff for our YouTube post game right now.
We be working.
Yep. I think the expectation would be Nabokov with the Eagles next year. Yeah, I think that's a fair one. And with all non-North American goalies, the first year is literally just get adjusted to North American ice. Like that's the entire objective of Nabokov's first year over. Classic refs, evening up the penalties when the game's over. Yep, the Evs do get the Jets on a Segababa again, which, sorry, not sorry. The Evs went through a ridiculously grueling schedule for the first 2 months of the season, so I feel bad for no one. Whoa, man, how did that stay out? I thought Blackwood was toast right there. Yeah, I mean, there's always exceptions, right? But you can't bank on someone being an exception. You're only setting yourself up for disappointment if that happens. Yeah, that Boston team is just they're at the end of their they're at the end of it. It was bound to happen to them. The losses of Bergeron and Krejci were significant. Some of their key players are starting to get older and older. It comes for us all eventually. All right. Hold them to one here. Do it for Blackwood. Yeah. Who does Winnipeg play tomorrow? I don't actually know. They play LA? I don't know. You probably start Helly against LA if you're Winnipeg and just try and win the front side of it, right? If you're talking about top of the division, LA is certainly more of a threat than Colorado is right now for Winnipeg. Or top of the conference, I should say. Yeah, Crosby's not leaving Pittsburgh. Certainly not this year. I don't think he'll ever leave. I think he retires a Penn, and I think it's a fun conversation that people like to have, but it's not realistic. Good D from Sam there. That's the biggest hook of all time. Imagine not calling that. Where does Kopitar rank amongst the all-time greats? I don't know. That's such a hard question. Like, obviously he's an unbelievably good player, but how much of his stuff is tangible is really hard because he was such a good defensive forward for so much of his career. And like, yes, he's been a really good offensive player, but never had a 100-point season across the course of his career. Isn't really all that close to a point per game player. He has incredible longevity though, but still it's really hard to rank a guy like that. Those emotions from Minnesota there were, I'm so done with this. All right. I mean, that's the game you wanted if you're Colorado. Absolutely love just about everything about this. Oh, hold on. We're fighting. Little crybaby Minnesota. Little mad that they were hurt, as if the Avs haven't been dealing with shit like that for the entire season. Go home, Foligno. Cry yourself to sleep, buddy. You suck. Yep. We're going to go do our post game since this fight looks over. We appreciate all y'all hanging out. Come join us for the post game. We'll break it all down with Big E for you. So we'll talk to you in about 15 minutes.
We all silly like the mayor.